Morning, guys, and right behind you can see the very low layer of clouds. So we are talking about fog. I'll show you visibility in a second. For now, let's just talk about how much snow actually did make it to the ground yesterday. And there wasn't a lot. You know, as we started watching it, we really looked at just how moisture starved it was, which we knew, but it just really wasn't getting what it needed. And even then, dew points were low. So while it was over us, a lot of it wasn't making it to the surface. Central Park just picking up 1/10 of an inch there. Same with LaGuardia. You had a trace at JFK, Islip at 1/10 of an inch. We did pick up 1 inch at Bridgeport, and you really had to travel well north and west to see even a couple of inches. But we did have spots up through the Hudson Valley that did actually make it to 2 inches, if not more than that. Newark at 1/2 inch there. So a lot of that, though, was quickly washed away, melted away as we noticed temperatures go up above freezing and even some rain that started falling. Right now, we're looking at 20 up in Westchester, Highland at 27, the city at 32, Asbury Park at 35, Lindenhurst at 31. Winds are down big time, but that's why we're also seeing a little bit of fog out there. So while visibility isn't prompting a dense fog advisory, you could see some areas that are quite foggy, and you just want to use extra caution there. Now, looking at the live radar, we still have some activity off to the east and to the north. You have some light snow over parts of Connecticut and Long Island, and even some snow mixing or rain mixing with that. Anything that's continuing to fall this morning and even through the afternoon, we could see still a little bit of activity isn't going to accumulate to really anything. So we have some drying out and some clearing to the west, and we're noticing that this trough is just really slow to get out of the way, which is why we can't rule it out for the rest of the morning and afternoon with seeing some form of precipitation, but again, it'll be light. Here's a system to the south that'll stay to the south. As we march through the futurecast, notice we do have a little bit of clearing, especially further inland, but we'll say partly sunny with, again, picking up maybe some very scattered and light precip off to the east and parts to the north. As we head in through the overnight, clouds kind of stick around. Temperatures for today, we're going to be in the upper 30s for New Jersey, maybe hitting 40 in spots. The Hudson Valley in the mid to upper 30s or so. In Long Island, you're going to hang out in the same area, maybe getting up to about 40 degrees, which is right around seasonable, if not a tad above. Enjoy it while it lasts. These are some of the mild temperatures where we keep the chill in the air through the weekend. We'll go ahead and switch over to traffic. We'll check in on the roads just to start. So if you're going to be jumping on the Gowanus, one of the usual suspects for the morning commute, notice it is already starting to pick up a little bit of volume. I will say, though, a lot of these roads were treated, and with temperatures right around freezing, if not above it, we're really not looking at too much concern for ice, but it could still be slick out there, so you still want to be careful. With our buses this morning, you'll notice a handful, if not a little bit more, MTA bus service changes or delays. A lot of that is due to construction that is out there, as well as operator availability. New Jersey Transit buses, Beeline, those are on or close to schedule right now. Anything changes, I'll let you know, but also looking at our rail situation here, Metro North, LIRR, New Jersey Transit, and PATH, they're on or close to schedule. PATH, the 9th and 23rd Street stations are closed until 5 o'clock this morning. Alternate side of the street parking, it's back in effect, so another day you may have to move your car, guys. Back to you.
Every step of the way.
The time 5:16 right now.
Let's get a check of our weather. Marissa Torres.
Feels like winter, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure
It's
does.
officially here.
Yeah, we're in it. We're like really in it. And from the snow and the wintry mix all the way to the very cold temperatures headed our way, we're packing a lot into the week. Temperatures are going to be milder this afternoon, and it's all relative, right? So today is actually going to be one of the better days to get outside for temperatures. Can't rule out a flurry or sprinkle today, especially the further east of the city you get. Gusty winds are going to develop for Thursday, and then we're talking about bone-chilling temperatures arriving on Friday. These would be the coldest temperatures of the season thus far. Now, right now, we have the 20s to the north and west. We're right at freezing at 32 in the city. A little bit warmer when you head to the shore, 31 over in Lindenhurst. Winds are calmer, but we do have a little bit of fog out there. No dense fog advisories, but notice Islip is down to 3 miles of visibility. So added to the maybe slick conditions, you just want to take it slow this morning. We've been watching the live radar and noticing for Long Island, for parts of Nassau, Suffolk County, and then moving up further towards Bridgeport, it's trying to make its way up, but we still have a little bit of precipitation out there, whether it's some snow mixing with rain, maybe a little bit of sleet, but very, very light and very light snow at this point. Anything extra we get for today won't amount to really anything, but you may notice it flying in the sky. Notice over to the west and parts of the Hudson Valley are already starting to dry out. You have this area of low pressure, this trough that is just kind of trying to slowly make its way out, but that's what's still causing that there. And then this is the next system we're watching to the south. It is going to stay to the south of us, but we will see some impacts in some way, and I'll show you how. So today we do have some clearing at times with these clouds, so we'll say partly sunny to mostly cloudy depending on where you are, especially for Long Island there. And then as we head in through the overnight, we keep some of these clouds. Tomorrow the sunshine returns, but the winds pick up. That system passes to the south, but high pressure is trying to push in from the north and west, and so we're going to get some very gusty winds for Thursday and through Friday. So despite the clear skies, this is when we have the very cold air. So we'll march through the wind chills. Thursday is when it starts. In the afternoon, it's going to feel like 20 degrees. That's one of the better days. By Friday morning, it feels like it's 1 degree in the morning. Into the evening hours, we really don't get better than the single digits. And noticing by Saturday morning, it feels like it's 2 below zero. Saturday stays cold through the day. Sunday stays cold. Even though the winds diminish by Saturday and Sunday, they opened at 5 o'clock this morning, and most of them are operating on or close to schedule, much like your major commuter rail lines and ferries, I should say. So everything here, for the most part, on or close to schedule. And you'll notice with rails, Metro North, LIRR, New Jersey Transit, and PATH are moving along fine. Now, LIRR, don't forget you did have some new timetables that were issued on Monday. So if you didn't commute then, I just highly recommend you take a glance at it and see what you're in for. Alternate side of the street parking back in effect. Meter rules also apply, guys. Back to you.
At 5:30, 32 degrees. We want to get a check of our weather and traffic with Marissa Torres.
You know, I love watching the video of the kids so bundled up. You know, because by the time you put your mask on and your hood and your hat and everything, I mean, you can't see anything except just two little eyes. But you're going to need the layers. I mean, you've really needed them already, but we have very cold weather headed our way, the coldest of the season thus far. So that is something to prepare for. For this morning, we're still talking about a winter weather advisory. So this is through 6 o'clock this morning, really just a little bit longer. But the main thing here is, well, they did pick up a little bit of extra precipitation this morning. Nothing heavy, but there is concern for some slick spots up through Ulster, Dutchess, Litchfield, and really anywhere that hasn't been treated with some salting overnight. That's where you want to watch out for some black ice. But most of the roads are just wet from yesterday. We're at 32 in the city, so we're above freezing. Good news there. Lindenhurst at 31, above freezing over Asbury Park at 35, and 20 up in Armonk right now. Winds have settled down out of the northwest, but you're noticing for Long Island and parts of coastal Connecticut up through Bridgeport. Trying to clear out of the way is that disturbance from yesterday, but still delivering some light snow, if not maybe some drizzle, and some mixing in between for areas along the south shore there. Some clearing over to the west. But again, I would take it slow this morning. We're going to be talking about the cold weather, also a miss and a lucky miss at that from our next system that's going to be coming up for tomorrow. For today by noon, we're at 35 winds out of the northwest, 38 by 5 p.m., and this will be one of the warmer days of probably the next week or so take advantage. Let's go ahead and switch over to traffic this morning. Starting to get a little active on the roads over on the Cross Island Parkway northbound. This is right near the Grand Central Parkway exit. You have a crash that is starting to lead to some delays there. Southbound side not being impacted, but again, something we'll watch that is leading to a little bit of a slowdown. You also have minor slowdowns with this one. This is just a disabled vehicle, RFK Bridge. This is Bronx Manhattan bound side with 2 lanes that are blocked there, but look at how quiet things are. So that's not really causing a bit delay. Even the FDR Drive, West Side Highway roads are looking quiet and decent. Alternate side of the street parking, it's back in effect today. Meter rules also apply, guys. Back to you. Right? And yeah, it's not as windy this morning. I think that's why it's going to feel a little bit better to the skin when you step outside. But still, we're at freezing, so that's cold. Notice up in Armonk, they've gone up a little bit. So actually, the disturbance that pushed through yesterday is still trying to push out completely, but we're noticing an improvement there in temperatures. 34 in Hoboken, 35 Asbury Park, Lindenhurst at 31. I still want you to watch out for slick spots, especially areas to the north and to the west where temperatures still struggling to make it to freezing. Visibility improved in the city. Still ice slip at 3 miles. Just at 3 miles there, and then you'll notice some areas improving. Even Bridgeport just jumped up a little bit since I last looked. So we still are noticing a little bit of snow. I mean, very, very light snow. Some flurries that's being picked up, even maybe some mixing for the south shore of Long Island. But even that's starting to dry up, and we're getting even more clearing behind it. So that's the good news there. We're going to keep some of these clouds throughout the day. We'll have some clearing. I'd say partly sunny, but it may take some time for this to completely clear out. So I'm not going to rule out any drizzle or flurries as we head in through the later morning hours and the afternoon. This is the next system, this area of low pressure that's going to stay to the south of us for tomorrow. It's going to slide offshore. Behind it, high pressure tries to push in, and we're going to get some windy conditions for Thursday in through Friday. So a flurry or sprinkle for today with some partial clearing of those clouds. You'll get a little bit of sun, but the wind's not as bad. This would be the better day to get outside where it won't feel quite as cold. Tomorrow, temperatures fall back into the low 30s, but because the winds are picking up out of the northwest, it's going to be much colder. In the afternoon, it'll feel like it's in the 20s. By Friday morning, we're waking up with a feels-like temperature hovering around 0, and then that'll stick around Friday in through Saturday morning. So today's highs, 38 in the city with the sunshine just a little bit, and then as we look into the wind, so Thursday is when they start to creep up. Thursday morning, not so bad. As we head in through the afternoon, we're talking about gusts anywhere from 20 to 25. 35 miles per hour is where some of those could peak, and they'll last even through Friday, which is why your wind chills are going to be bad. Even Saturday morning, look at that. It's going to feel like it's 2 below the commute. So Route 3 eastbound, this is just after Park Avenue. We had the left lane that is blocked with this crash here. It is starting to cause a little bit of delay on Route 3 you're noticing, and that's traffic that's trying to head towards the Lincoln Tunnel and whatnot. So we'll watch that one for you, let you know when it clears out of the way. With our subways, we still have some signal issues out there, so delays on our northbound 2 train. They're running at slower speeds. It's our only subway issue right now. Everybody else is fine. And if you're going to be jumping on any of the rails this morning, Metro North, LARR, New Jersey Transit and Path, they are also A-OK. LARR, don't forget, new timetables were issued on Monday. Alternate side of the street parking back in effect with meter rules, guys. Back to you. It's kind of a quiet start. I was a little more worried heading out this morning about some ice, but a lot of the roads have been treated, and so it's really just wet for many of you, and included in that is if you're driving in and around the city. So this is a live look at the FDR Drive. Traffic flows are good, pretty much end to end, maybe a little bit of slowdowns coming from Harlem River Drive on the southbound side, but that is typical for the morning commute, so quiet here. Checking in on our subways, most of which are doing fine. We have lingering issues on the 2 train. They're running at slower speed, so you have delays in the northbound direction, and that is because of earlier signal problems. With rails this morning, also quiet here. Metro North, LARR, New Jersey Transit and Path reporting that trains are on or close to schedule. LARR, reminder that we had new timetables that were issued on Monday. So it's primarily impacting those morning and evening rush hour trains. That's where you want to look if you haven't commuted so far this week. Alternate side of the street parking, that's back in effect today. Citywide meter rules also apply, guys. Back to you.
Thank you.
Stacey, and it's 6:31 right now. We're going to take it over to a new problem. This is over on Long Island on the Wantagh Parkway northbound. It's a parkway. It has an unauthorized misplaced tractor trailer that is there that they're going to have to clear out. So this is between Old Country Road and Brush Hollow Road, essentially heading on the northbound side up through the Wantagh, trying to get towards the northern states. So that's a delay that we'll continue to watch. It's just about back towards Hempstead Turnpike with those delays. And then we'll switch on over, still trying to clear out a crash on the Cross Island Parkway. That is also northbound. This one's sitting right near the Grand Central Parkway, and you still have pretty heavy delays now past the Hempstead Turnpike there. Another area we'll continue to watch until it clears out. Even heavier delays that we're seeing now on the West Side Highway southbound. This one is just a disabled vehicle, but it is blocking the right lane just after 125th Street, which is why those delays now extending all the way up towards the George Washington Bridge. Alternate side of the street parking, it's back in effect today citywide. Meter rules also apply. Back to you.
Marissa.
Stacey, and it's 6:31 right now. We're going to take it over to a new problem. This is over on Long Island on the Wantagh Parkway northbound. It's a parkway. It has an unauthorized misplaced tractor trailer that is there that they're going to have to clear out. So this is between Old Country Road and Brush Hollow Road, essentially heading on the northbound side up through the Wantagh, trying to get towards the northern states. So that's a delay that we'll continue to watch. It's just about back towards Hempstead Turnpike with those delays. And then we'll switch on over, still trying to clear out a crash on the Cross Island Parkway. That is also northbound. This one's sitting right near the Grand Central Parkway, and you still have pretty heavy delays now past the Hempstead Turnpike there. Another area we'll continue to watch until it clears out. Even heavier delays that we're seeing now on the West Side Highway southbound. This one is just a disabled vehicle, but it is blocking the right lane just after 125th Street, which is why those delays now extending all the way up towards the George Washington Bridge. Alternate side of the street parking, it's back in effect today citywide. Meter rules also apply. Back to you.
Marissa.